Drums, please.
Hey everybody, c.note here, and welcome to DOPEamine, the show that is all about mental health empowerment. Today on the show, I want to talk to my fellow INTPs all about what INTPs actually dislike. And this is not going to be like an exhaustive list. This is actually just a reframe around what INTPs tend to think they don't like about emotions. And I talk about emotions a lot on this channel, and it's an important topic. I think it's incredibly important for INTPs to get to know and reframe their relationship with their emotions, other people's emotional experiences, and what we experience out in the world, and what we're hoping to gain, so that we can actually contribute to reality and society instead of avoiding our own emotional experiences or other people's emotional experiences. So this video is really about what do INTPs actually dislike. And it's not necessarily emotions or emotional expressions. I think that's part of it. Sometimes overt emotional expression can be very jarring, very taxing to the brain. And if there's too much emotional judgment coming my way, especially when I'm in hypomania as a cyclothymic, when I'm dealing with like too much judgment of the world and of people and what's going on, it's very much actually taxing. And I do dislike those things. But I think some of the biggest things that I personally dislike as an INTP are hypocrisy. And I actually wrote it down and I'm trying to remember it. So when I'm trying to remember, I just need to reference because otherwise I get messed up. So I used to think that it was emotion that I didn't like, but it's actually the passing of hypocrisy, conspiracy, belief, judgment, hearsay, and closed-mindedness as fact. And I don't appreciate that stuff. Anything that's being passed as a fact that isn't a fact, which includes a lot of INTP opinions. I've had videos about this. The passing of opinion or hearsay or any of this stuff as fact and being so convicted about it that it's affecting my trajectory, your trajectory, everyone around us, and it's not giving people autonomic freedom. It's not giving us a chance to make an actual choice because we're so busy now battling someone's hypocrisy or hearsay, or I have to respond, or I have to deal with it. And I don't quote unquote have to deal with it, but it's distracting and it's frustrating if you're going to be dealing with a person who is consistently trying to pass off their own conspiracies or, how everyone's out to get them kind of thing, and throws that on you as a person. I feel like that's incredibly distressing and so frustrating. And I don't like having to deal with that. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of INTPs, that at least in my experience, have expressed that they don't appreciate as well. So I would be curious if that's the case for you, if really it's like more about hypocrisy, about hearsay and closed-mindedness. Now I threw belief in there, but it really depends on the kind of belief. Because I think narratives and stories are important as INTPs to have our own beliefs as well, and to recognize that some of our instinctual desires to focus intensely on fact is also part of a belief system. So to really navigate and rearrange our relationship with belief, to embrace it, I think is important as well. That's part of like getting to know emotions and utilizing emotions in the best ways possible. But when it becomes something that aids closed-mindedness, that is what gets so terribly frustrating. And I find it maddening. And it's really hard to know what to do with it. Now, as a person who is starting to gain a little bit of trust with my audience and getting people passing through this YouTube channel who might not like my voice or the way that I speak about things, or, some people have called me abusive because of the way that I'm direct. And, there are going to be all sorts of critics that kind of come through life. There are going to be all sorts of people who are expressing their own hypocrisies, that they may call someone something while exhibiting that themselves. And I find the best way to deal with that stuff is to just let it pass. When someone comes in my comments, for example, and they say something that is like a long string, because, we do that sometimes as INTPs, or other types, leave a long string of comments about, something that is full of this like intense hypocrisy and passing it as truth, and kind of not aware of how much they're formulating their own opinion and defining their worldview around this, and and I'm okay with people having their own worldviews and their own opinions, but if we're trying to, I'm going to close my window because there's a cicada going. That was a potted plant that just broke. Yay, I'm going to leave that in. It was like adorable. It was a triceratops head. I'm going to grab the head. Hold on. Poor guy just broke. It was a potted plant. And now he's done. He's dead. Poor guy. Probably mount him somewhere because at least the head's intact. But Molly's going to be a little bit upset about that one. But we'll deal with it. I have super glue. I'll handle it. Anyway, so I have no problem with people having beliefs. I feel like we're supposed to as humans, right? I think if anything, like the squashing down of beliefs is just as much of a challenge or just as harmful as discounting people's beliefs or trying to push your beliefs onto other people. And when I talk about hearsay and hypocrisy, conspiracies, all of this stuff, I think that's really the thing for me that's the most frustrating, is the pushing of stuff onto other people. Like, let people figure stuff out themselves or formulate their thoughts. And, with the internet the way it is right now, with headlines being so vague, and there's a lot of buzzwords out there that are surrounding, that, kind of let you know where people's political stances are or religious stances or whatever. And it's exhausting, regardless of what direction you're coming from. And it really, the thing is just the pushing. I don't need you to push your ideas on me. Like, if you are so convicted in your beliefs and who you are and what you stand for, then you're going to embody that. And then you're going to work towards that, and you're going to honor that in your life. And if I see that that's working for you in your life, then I might consider using that for myself. But if you come into my comments and you say like, you need to turn down the music, you need to do this, you need to do that. I'm like, okay, all right, well, tell me how it's affecting you. Don't just tell me what to do. And tell me more. Tell me what's going on. So that's really the thing that bothers me the most, I think, personally, and the things that I dislike strongly around people behavior is the hypocrisy side of things, and in particular about belief. And again, to reiterate while I wrap this up, like, it's not about people's opinions and beliefs per se, because I think we have our opinions. We need to have opinions. We need to have beliefs of some kind. Even agnosticism or atheism is a belief that there's nothing to believe in, like, we have our own stuff, and that's okay. We're supposed to have our narratives. Like, my story with Molly is a narrative that I love and appreciate so much. I think there are things that we can actually utilize as positive narratives and beliefs in our life that allow us to be confident, to go forward in the world, to go do things, to really launch into something despite it not making much sense for us. But when something makes sense to someone else that we can clearly see doesn't really make sense to us, it's not their job to push it on us, and it's not our job to fix it for them. So let it go. Let it go. I don't remember the rest of the song. I don't, that sounded nothing like it. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm tired. I just woke up from a nap. So, and I just broke a triceratops. So, this is the life I'm leading today. This is how I'm handling it. So, I don't know. Sometimes life is frustrating, and those are some of the things that can be frustrating for an INTP. And if that's something that frustrates you, I love that my floor squeaks too, by the way. So if I'm doing that, I'm not just like party on camera. That's just how that's something I can't avoid. So, with all that said, if you're someone that's dealing with some of these frustrations, these people-related frustrations, like, it's not your job to deal with it. You don't have to deal with anyone. That's what boundaries are for. Set those boundaries, especially if you're someone that's like working at a job, or you're trying to start a YouTube channel and you're starting to get some traction and someone's, you're getting some attention. You're not going to want every bit of that attention. And trust me, some of the attention that I've gotten, I don't want. So it's up to me to filter that out. And it's for me. I'm not here to tell someone else to behave a certain way or to be a certain way or to not say that or whatever. It's like, I am me, they are them. And it's up to me to find that balance. So with all that said, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to clean up Triceratops guy. There was no name. I guess I'll call her Sarah. Girl, I guess. Or they. I don't know, depending on what the situation is. But all that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want you guys to take care of yourselves. And for your own mental health and for your brain, let stuff go. You don't have to fight everyone on the internet. Been there, done that. It's not worth your time, not worth the energy. So at DOPEamine.life, we've got articles, podcasts, all that fun stuff. We've got a productivity workshop that you can sign up for below. The name's probably going to change soon, but it's still in the link below. We've got other programs and stuff. So if you sign up for our email list, you'll get notifications for articles, programs, podcasts, all sorts of fun stuff and more advice about your personality type as an INTP. Or if you're not an INTP, there's more stuff coming for you too. So go ahead, check out the links below, sign up, do all that stuff. And that's it. So take care of yourselves and each other in this ridiculous video with the Triceratops and cicadas. And I'm tired. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves and each other.